What's up, YouTube? Jeff, your Style O.G. And on today's video, I'm going to share with you 10 of the best ways you can be better in bed. If you're new to the channel, we release a new video every Monday, Thursday, and Saturday at 4 p.m. Eastern, discussing various men's lifestyle topics such as style, grooming, and dating. I invite you to subscribe, tap that notification bell, and join us. And to my returning friends like Jerome Anthony Cruz, salute. Now, without a doubt, most men want to be better in bed. You probably want your sexual experiences to be more pleasurable and satisfactory for both you and your partner. Now, for most of us, getting the pleasure and satisfaction for us isn't the hard part. Making sure she's pleased and satisfied, that can be a different story. And that's what I want to help you with on today's video. On today's video, I've got 10 of the best ways that I believe if you implement them into your sex life will be better for both people. So without any further delay, let's get right into these tips on how you can be better in bed. Now, first up on my list of 10 of the best ways you can be better in bed goes for sex and a lot of other things in life. If you want to be better in bed, you should set realistic expectations. Let me be the first to tell you, real life sex isn't like porn sex, and it's not like a romantic comedy either. Yes, you want sex to be pleasurable and satisfactory, but it's not always gonna be mind-blowing. She's not gonna have an orgasm every time. Probably not gonna last an hour and a half, and you're probably not gonna come home to an unexpected threesome. And one of the things you definitely wanna keep in mind when you first start having sex with someone, it's probably not gonna be great right away. You have to learn each other. You guys might have different sex drives and different expectations. It can take time to get into a rhythm. So one of the best things you can do to be better in bed, set realistic expectations. And that piggybacks very nicely into my next tip. The one thing you have to do, especially when you first start having sex with a woman, you have to learn her individually. What I'm trying to tell you is, every woman is different when it comes to having sex. What felt good for the last person might not work for her. Trust me, sex is not a one-size-fits-all activity. Everybody is different. That's why, especially with a new sexual partner, you have to treat every woman individually. What gets her off might not be the same thing that got the last person off. There's gonna be things she likes or dislikes that you have to learn about. So although your trusty moves may have worked in the past, they're not necessarily gonna work on the new partner. Remember, treat any woman you sleep with as an individual. Now, since you're watching this video, it's pretty safe to assume whether you've been in a relationship for several years or you're just getting started, when it's time to perform, you want to be at your best. One of the things that can definitely prevent you from being at your best if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction. Now, I know a lot of guys who suffer from ED do so in silence. They find it embarrassing to seek help. Suffer in silence no more and get help from today's video sponsor, Roman. Roman is the go-to source to get help with your erectile dysfunction. At Roman, they will hook you up with a licensed U.S. healthcare professional, and that healthcare professional will work directly with you to come up with the best plan to treat your ED. The healthcare professional will work directly with you, and if appropriate, will prescribe the medicine you need to treat your erectile dysfunction. And the medicine will be shipped directly to your door. You'll be able to treat your erectile dysfunction all from the comfort and privacy of your own home. And with the treatment plan you get from Roman, you'll be ready, Roman ready. And getting started treating your erectile dysfunction is very simple. All you have to do is go to getroman.com/love and complete an online visit. After completing your visit, and if approved, the first month of your erectile dysfunction medicine from Roman will be shipped free to your door at 50% off. You don't have to suffer in silence with erectile dysfunction anymore. So if you're ready to get started treating your erectile dysfunction today, go to getroman.com/love so you can be more confident, more ready. Roman ready. Now, next up on the list of the ways to be much better in bed is a tip a lot of guys need to pay attention to. Make sure you're prioritizing foreplay. Now, here's the thing. Most of us fellas, we're ready to go right away. Most of the time, she won't be. In general, women's bodies take a lot more time to warm up and be ready for sex than ours does. I need you to remember, especially for women, sex does not begin in the bedroom, and it definitely doesn't begin with intercourse. It starts a lot earlier than that. And here's one of the great things about prioritizing foreplay. It works for her and for you. It'll lead to longer, better, more pleasurable sex, and the actual intercourse becomes more pleasurable and less of the focus, making your job a little easier. So take your time, concentrate on the foreplay. Let her get relaxed, let her get warmed up. It will make the sex much more pleasurable for her and you. Remember, there's no rush. Prioritize foreplay. Now, next up is a tip that will help you with the actual intercourse. If you want to be better in bed, make sure you're sticking to a regular exercise program. It's been shown that regular exercise improves sexual function. And I'm talking about all kinds of exercise: cardio, core training, and resistance training. When you're in better shape, it improves your blood flow. One of the keys to better physical performance when it comes to sex: increase blood flow to your penis. This happens with regular exercise. And another benefit of staying in shape: when you're in great shape, it enhances your confidence inside and outside of the bedroom. And another benefit of sticking to that exercise program: regular exercise can increase your sex drive. So if you want to perform better both outside and especially inside the bedroom, stick to a regular exercise program. Now, next up on the list of the best tips to be better in bed is one I want the guys who are in longer term relationships to really pay attention to. Just like with your financial portfolio, make sure when it comes to your sex routines, you diversify. Here's what I mean. When you've been in a relationship for a while, you kind of get stuck in the same routine, having sex in the same room, in the same situations, with those same old positions. And after a while, your body and hers can be desensitized to this same routine. You have to switch it up. Make sure you're not doing your same 1-2 every time. This can lead to sexual boredom for you and for her. So yes, I know your go-to moves may have been working well the last couple years, but newsflash, that might not last forever. So especially if you're in a long-term relationship, change things up. Diversify your sexual routine. Now, next up is a tip a lot of ladies wish we took more heed to, and I'm gonna share it with you right now. The women want you to make a little bit more noise in the bed. Now, here's the thing. Most of us guys, all we need for stimulation is to be visually stimulated. But the ladies tend to be a little different. They want all of their senses stimulated, including their hearing. So don't be afraid to talk a little dirty. Let out some moans, some groans, some grunts. Or better yet, give her some compliments. Let her know how good she's making you feel. Tell her how great she looks. This will make her feel more connected to you, more relaxed, and more turned on. So yes, in life as men, it's great to be the strong, silent type, but not necessarily in the bedroom. Communicate with her by making noise. This will make both her and your experience much more pleasurable. Now, next up is another tip to make the actual intercourse a little better. Now, no matter how much you may turn your woman on, there may be some times when she finds it difficult to get wet. The solution to that: make sure you have some lubrication on hand. Now, you want an easy road to less pleasurable sex, especially for a woman? Let her be dry. And here's where I need to make sure you're not taking things personally. Just because she may not be as wet as normal doesn't mean she's not into you. She can be completely turned on and not as wet as usual. That's where you get some help. Use some lubrication. If you and your partner find yourself in this situation, it's not very difficult. Just apply a little bit of lubrication to your penis before you enter her, and you're much more likely to have a more pleasurable experience, both you and her. Now, next up, I'm gonna share with you a technique I employed as a young man when I first started having sex, and has had a great benefit for my sex life, and I believe it can work for you. Try practicing edging. Now, what is edging, you may ask? It's practicing stopping yourself from reaching orgasm right when you get to the edge. Thus the term edging. The benefits of edging: it can help with premature ejaculation. It allows you to exert much more control over your orgasm. And for both her pleasure and yours, it allows you to prolong sex. And practicing edging can lead to more intense sex and more powerful orgasms. You can practice edging by yourself. When you're masturbating, take yourself to the edge, stop, relax, and start over again. Or when you're having sex with your lady, do the same thing. Get all the way to the edge, relax, and start over. One of the top things you can do to be much better in bed: employ the practice of edging. Now, next up is a category that's severely overlooked by a lot of guys. Want to be better in bed? Make sure you're paying attention to your sexual hygiene. Just like when it comes to your overall hygiene, one mistake can mess up the whole program. If you're not making sure you're clean, odor-free, and well-groomed, she can be turned off. You want a quick way to turn her off? Don't be well-groomed and smell. So take some advice from me. Keep up on your manscaping. Make sure you're thoroughly clean. You want an easy, simple way to be better in bed? Make sure you're keeping up on your sexual hygiene. Next up on the list is, in my opinion, the most important tip when it comes to performing better in bed. Make sure you and your partner are communicating with each other. I mean verbally and non-verbally. Without a doubt, the most foolproof way to improve your sex life: talk to each other. Ask her what she likes. Find out what she doesn't like. And you also need to know your woman wants to please you as well. Let her know what you don't like and what you do like. And the communication isn't just verbal, it's non-verbal as well. When you're touching her, see what she responds to. Pay attention to what she doesn't respond to. Here's where you need to put your ego aside and don't take it personal. Let her communicate with you openly. Opening the lines of communication is a direct path to a better sex life, both for you and for her. Now, of course, all of us want to be better in bed, both for ourselves and our partner. And I firmly believe if you implement several of the tips we talked about on today's video, you'll be well on your way to a much more pleasurable and satisfactory sexual experience for you and your lady. As always, I love to have your input. Let the Style O.G family know what tips you believe can help every guy be a little bit better in bed.